Hey guys, welcome back to Clownfish TV. This is Kneon. I'm here with Geeky Sparkles.
Hello.
And guess what?
What?
We could have had a much better Star Wars Episode 9 than we got with the Rise of Skywalker.
Is anybody surprised at this point?
I don't think anybody's surprised. This just cements the fact that Episode 9, The Rise of Skywalker, was a movie made by committee.
Yeah, and it has worked so well for them before.
It's worked out very well for them. The fact that it's still crawling to $1 billion, I don't think I don't even know if it's made $1 billion yet. The fact that it has the lowest Rotten Tomatoes critical score since The Phantom Menace.
I know, and I want to go on record again as saying that it's not because somehow Rian Johnson was better. His movie triggered this entire thing.
Yeah, Ryan, look, The Last Jedi definitely triggered the Star Wars decline, but The Rise of Skywalker overcompensated, tried to walk back a lot of those decisions, but the damage was done, and it didn't fit. And it
was a film for no one.
It was a film for nobody. So now it has come out that Colin Trevorrow's script, remember Colin Trevorrow, Creative Differences? Colin Trevorrow, another Disney creative difference.
Yeah, I actually sent that information to you yesterday, but we didn't get a chance to get to it till today. But he's had it since yesterday.
Yeah,
so.
We've been very, very busy, but there's been more information on this. People wondered if this leaked script was legitimate, and it turns out that the AV Club, Gizmodo, was able to verify. Yeah, this is Colin Trevorrow's script, and I have to wonder if he didn't leak it himself somehow.
I would have. If it was me, I totally would have done it.
Because he backpedaled. He came out and said that Palpatine was not supposed to be in his version of Episode 9, which is called, awesomely enough, Duel of the Fates.
That is a really good name, actually.
That is a really good name. And Palpatine was not supposed to be in it. Right after he came out and said that, all the media outlets were like, oh no, J.J. Abrams and Kathleen Kennedy said that they planned Palpatine all along.
Well, since Kathleen Kennedy says anything, you have to question it.
Liars who lie. So yeah, we're going to talk about what could have been.
So she was not supposed to suddenly be a Skywalker and claim that name at the end and all of that.
I don't think so. We're gonna talk about some of the specifics. It's very different. There's no Palpatine. The opening crawl is actually the one that was leaked months and months ago, and it's actually pretty good. It's not
much
the
better.
Dead speak, like a zombie movie.
Dead
right?
men tell no tales.
God.
Anyway, sorry.
All right. So before we get into the video further, we have a sponsor this time around.
Do?
So please, take a couple minutes, watch this if you're interested. Awesome. If not, awesome. But we got to pay the bills, so we'll be right back. All right, guys, before we continue with the video, we're going to take a minute to give a shout out to the sponsor of this episode of Clownfish TV, Surfshark VPN. If you're living outside of the United States and you want to legally watch The Mandalorian on Disney Plus or check out Hulu, you can do this with Surfshark VPN and a valid paid subscription, of course. Yeah, I said legally, just to be clear, I'm not advocating that any of you sail the high seas, if you know what I mean, right? And I'm also not going to ask about everything you might want to use a VPN for. That is your business. But I do recommend using a VPN if you're concerned about your internet privacy. Basically, services like Surfshark VPN lets you encrypt all the data sent on the internet so no one can steal your passwords and other data. They don't know where you're surfing from. Again, you can bypass those pesky region locks. Check this out. If you're on Netflix and you want to search for Marvel movies and you live in, say, the Netherlands, which is where I am connected right now to the Netherlands, this is all that's going to come up for you because of the region lock. There's really not a lot of Marvel content here, is there? So let me just switch this to the United States and see what happens. Watch this. Watch this. So we're going to connect to Netflix in the US. We're going to search for Marvel. Look at that. Now you can watch Infinity War. You can watch Ant-Man, Black Panther. There are a lot more choices. You can get around region locks for all kinds of content. Hulu, Netflix, CBS All Access. If you're interested in watching Picard, you can do that. And now Surfshark has another offer for you guys for our Clownfish TV audience. If you go to surfshark.deals/clownfish, you will get the latest offer for Clownfish TV viewers. Currently, I think it's 83% off and 1 month free. Go check it out. Check out our sponsor. Helps pay the bills. And let's get back into the video. Okay, guys, welcome back. We're going to talk about this. So, Colin Trevorrow reportedly leaked his reportedly leaked Star Wars script. I think it was him.
Oh, if it was me, I would do it. Oh, whoops, how'd that happen? darn, like John Boyega accidentally left it in his apartment, which he probably did, but if it was me, I would have accidentally left it in my apartment.
Yeah.
I'm just saying.
So everybody's talking about this. Now, this is really interesting. Esquire starts out with, never underestimate Star Wars leakers.
You never should.
And they talk about all the leaks that have been, associated with this movie. And there were a lot of leaks regarding The Last Jedi. Not quite as many. Force Awakens, the whole movie was ruined before it even came out. There were a group of, fans, shills, whatever you want to call them, going around telling all of the Star Wars YouTubers that they were wrong. That they were wrong, that these leaks were impossible. This is not the movie we were going to get.
That's impossible! It can't be true.
Sure enough, blow by blow, it was absolutely the movie that we got that made nobody happy. So they talked about the Star Wars leakers acquiring 2 images straight from the film's ending all the way back in October, and people said, no, those are fake too. It's all Photoshop.
Yeah, Claude wasn't real. That whole poster was Photoshop, because clearly that Claude thing couldn't be real.
Yeah, right. So this came out, like you said, yesterday, but it wasn't verified, and it has been verified now by AV Club. But we're going to go out to Forbes because we like this Paul Tassi.
I do like Paul. Hey, Paul, we like you. Shout out to you. Go ahead.
Yeah, so we like him. So he said this whole thing started on YouTube. Started from a YouTube live stream recapping what was supposedly a leaked copy of Colin Trevorrow's script for Star Wars Episode 9, Duel of the Fates.
I like that name quite a bit, actually.
Before he left the project under creative differences.
Creative differences.
And J.J. Abrams and other writers were brought in. Jurassic World director's film was tentatively titled Duel of the Fates. Yes, I totally agree with that title. And it's a wildly different vision. At least on paper, it sounded good. So this is what's interesting, though. They don't backpedal on The Last Jedi. They just work with what they've got.
Right, because, I think it's honestly worse to... I don't like The Last Jedi. I can't stand it. But it actually looks worse to backpedal that than it does to just work with what you have. If you're trying to make a trilogy, I think that just seems... Because then they just cram too much in. You just pissed off all those people. You would at least had a chance of making some people happy.
Yeah, and I think at that point the damage is done. Just roll with it. But here's what the big major change was, that Palpatine is mentioned, but he's not the big bad, which Trevorrow confirmed, and then J.J. Abrams and Kathleen Kennedy tried to lie their way out of that. This script has now reportedly independently been verified by the AV Club, lending it further validity, though Disney and Trevorrow have not commented. They won't.
No, they're not going to.
Here's some highlights of what the differences were. The First Order is stronger than ever, and the Resistance plot revolves around hijacking a Star Destroyer to launch an attack on Coruscant, which is ruled now by Chancellor Hux. So we're going back to Coruscant.
Yeah, it just felt more, to me already, it's already feeling more like a Star Wars movie than what we get. But anyway, go ahead.
And starting on Coruscant is a callback to the prequel trilogy,
right,
which started with a big battle.
That's what it ended up. They wouldn't have added that to the ending of Return of the Jedi too, didn't they?
Yeah,
get that in
well,
there. So
yeah,
it kind of ties
edition.
into everyone. Yeah, special edition, but still.
Yeah, so the goal is to find a hidden Jedi beacon on the planet, which will serve to rally the Resistance allies. Rose Tico, here we go. Rose Tico is given a larger role. Tico gets a bigger role.
So,
there you go. The release the Tico cut.
This amuses me greatly. I don't know why it amuses me, but it amuses me. Go ahead.
All right, so Kylo Ren, meanwhile, finds a holocron left behind by Emperor Palpatine, meant for Darth Vader, telling him to seek out Palpatine's master named Tor Valum. Wait a second. What happened? What happened to Darth Plagueis the Wise?
Well, they do mention that.
Okay.
It's not clear if this is meant for
Darth Plagueis or someone else. Okay, naturally, Kylo wants to follow in his grandfather's footsteps, so he goes out searching for Tor Valum. That doesn't really sound like a Star Wars.
That sounds like someone has like I tore my Valum. Oh my god.
It sounds like a Conan. It sounds like a Conan name.
Well, to me, it just sounds like you have to go to the doctor. I tore my Valum. Damn it! I need to go to the doctor.
Right. Tor Valium, the most boring character in Star Wars.
That's Prince Valium, but you know.
Luke actually has a larger role in the film as a Force ghost than he did in Rise of Skywalker. He wasn't in it very much, appearing both to Kylo Ren to try to lure him back to the light, and also to Rey to help her continue her training. There are echoes of Last Jedi set up here as Rey and Ben talk about wanting to move past traditional Jedi and Sith dichotomies, with Leia pointing out at one point that Rey is something new. That was
because, Rey is the chosen one, Rey is the golden child, Rey is the pedestal, we know.
Well, she designs her own weapon, a dual-bladed lightsaber that combines her staff and Luke's saber. Kylo forges a new mask out of Mandalorian Beskar.
So they were going to, which would have tied into the Mandalorian, and this actually, I mean, I don't like that they're going to give Rose a bigger part. I don't really particularly like that they're setting up Rey to be the chosen one again, but we already knew that was going to happen. But I do like some of the choices they're making. She made her own thing. It was something new. She actually did something that wasn't just completely appropriating.
Right.
And then Kylo made a new mask, which he did again, but it ties into the Mandalorian. So that would have been cool.
Tor Valum is revealed to be a 7,000-year-old Lovecraftian alien.
Oh wow, that's
tentacle monster.
Basically,
maybe
Squid King would have loved it.
Is that how Tico? Oh, I hope that's not how Tico gets more screen time with the
tentacle monster.
Oh no! Part of Kylo's training with him is fighting a copy of Vader similar to Luke on Dagobah. Rey's parents are not rewritten to be anyone of significance. Rather, the reveal is that Kylo actually murdered her parents on the orders of Snoke. Rey and Kylo's final conflict happens on Mortis, a Clone Wars show planet that exists in the realm of the Force. Now, this was speculated on before that they were going to have this big Force scene.
Yeah, that's what they were talking about. Yeah.
That. So this, I believe, is true because a lot of this sounds like an early leaked version of Rise of Skywalker or some plot details.
Better or not, I don't know. Because honestly, there's some things here I'm like...
Execution.
It's just, yeah. It's just, I'm kind of like, I don't know if that would have been better. But then, I mean, honestly, just get rid of The Last Jedi and start again, personally. But,
I don't like the idea of a Lovecraftian monster being the big bad either.
7,000-year-old one, too, you know?
Yeah, so there's a large battle in Coruscant with the other characters. Chewie flies an X-Wing. That's kind of cool.
That would have been cool to see.
Force ghosts of Luke, Yoda, and Obi-Wan appear to try to save Ben, but he's too far gone. There's no redemption for him. The Reylos will be salty.
Well, that's why they didn't do it, because the Reylos would be salty. But they're salty anyway, because they kill him, so it doesn't matter.
Is it better than The Rise of Skywalker? To Paul Tassi, it says, it sounds like it could be. Yeah, so this is interesting, because it does jive with everything that people were saying, that Disney was freaking out, and that this movie was basically made by committee. I mean, look at all the bullet points. Oh, they didn't like The Last Jedi. Let's walk all of that back.
Yeah.
We need to make the Reylos happy. We need to make the,
Yeah, we'll get rid of The Last Jedi, but we'll make the Reylos happy, which will totally make up for the fact that we're getting rid of The Last Jedi.
Right. And we'll bring in Palpatine, because, nostalgia.
Everybody likes Palpatine.
Everybody likes Palpatine. We're not going to explain how he comes back or anything. You'll have to buy the book for that, but...
Oh, yeah, exactly. Well, that's called tie-ins, merchandising.
This actually sounds like it could have potentially been a much more coherent movie than what they got.
Cohesive.
Yeah. So everybody's talking about, this is a 2016 draft, so this was written back in 2016.
Which makes sense, because they started filming in was it 2018, 2017?
Yeah, but that means that they would have started working, which is about right, they would have started working on episode 9 before The Last Jedi came out. So where it probably changed was, The Last Jedi came out, the backlash happened, the version they had was actually a sequel to The Last Jedi. It didn't obliterate it.
Which I'm surprised. That means there was some planning involved.
There was a little bit of planning, but I think the plans changed because people reacted so negatively to
The difference means, oh shit, we're losing money. Fire this guy and hurry up and get J.J. Abrams back to try to fix it. Because they like JJ's version. They like the first one, which was kind of like a rehash of A New Hope. So let's bring him back in to fix it and get rid of this guy.
Yeah, so this, I mean, there are multiple versions of this. I'm going to put a link out to, it was on Reddit, but it does sound like at least they tried to make it gel with The Last Jedi while still doing something new. They never gave any indication that Palpatine was going to come back.
No.
Ever. And it's very interesting to see how people react to this. Everybody's like, oh my god, it could have been better. I think it was Colin Trevorrow who leaked it, though. Because he seems salty.
Because, he's like, because we have all these people who are mad because they just completely, stepped over The Last Jedi, which, personally, I don't blame them. And then you have people that are, mad because The Last Jedi ruined it, and this is kind of his way of trying to bridge it for both. And then, instead of just, trying to go to the Reylos. And...
So why don't we just go one better? Disney, why don't we just go one better and say that this happened in an alternate timeline? Because they've done it with Superman. They've done it with Superman. They went back and when they did when Bryan Singer did the sequel to Superman Returns, he ignored Superman 3 and 4. It was a sequel to Superman 2. They could totally do this. Like, put Star Wars on hiatus for 10 years,
They won't. They can't make money on it.
Right. I would say put on hiatus for 10 years and then just redo the sequels.
Yeah, they're not going to. They're just gonna start something new. They've already ruined that, so now they're gonna go make new things and pretend like it didn't happen.
Yeah, but this is very interesting. And it's also interesting to have Esquire of all places coming out and saying the Star Wars leakers are good.
Do you know what they're probably going to do? They're probably going to go do new films that are that take place in places that are eerily similar to Batuu, or make it Batuu, just so they can say, "Oh no, it's these new movies. It's not about." They can erase the sequel trilogy entirely and make it about these new films. I'm just saying.
Oh, they would totally do that. They'd totally be like, "Yeah, come to Batuu, everybody." You know, the movie from.
They've already did it in books. They're already putting it in the books and stuff. They're already pushing it there. So I could totally see them doing that. Like, okay, people, the sequel trilogy was a disaster. We'll just step over it and make it in the new movies. We'll make sure we put, or we'll just change it. It's not Batuu anymore. It's this planet from the new movies, and we'll just make it look like Batuu.
Yeah.
I could totally see them doing that.
Well, here's the opening crawl, and this opening crawl was actually leaked a while ago. I remember hearing. It wasn't "The Dead Speak." The iron grip of the First Order has spread to the farthest reaches of the galaxy. Only a few scattered planets remain unoccupied. Traitorous acts are punishable by death. Determined to suffocate a growing unrest, Supreme Leader Kylo Ren has silenced all communication between neighboring systems. Led by General Leia Organa, the Resistance has planned a secret mission to prevent their annihilation and forge a path to freedom. That's much better.
Yeah, plus it gets Leia in there more, and Kylo's Ren is Ben, her son, so it's even more interesting. But
yeah. Anyway, this is what could have been. It might have actually been a shit show too.
It could have been, because there's some things in here I'm just like, wait, they're continuing The Last Jedi, which I don't like, but I also think that probably makes more sense than trying to shoehorn two movies into one.
And I'm sorry, but people were going to have issues with this Tor Valum not being Darth Plagueis when they made such a big deal about Darth Plagueis.
Yeah.
And a giant tentacle Lovecraftian monster. I don't know. That could have gone south.
I agree.
So I don't know, but it's very interesting to see what could have happened. And I'm sure we'll hear more about it in the coming weeks and months. And I have to wonder if they won't do some comic book or something with here's the alternate episode 9.
I don't think they will, because I don't think they wanted it leaked. And that's why I think you're right that he or somebody close to him probably leaked it. So
John Boyega. John Boyega's fault. It's his fault. All right, so we're going to wrap it up.
Yep.
Please subscribe for more pop culture news, views, and rants, and we'll talk later.
Bye.
Hey guys, thanks for watching Clownfish TV. Please consider supporting the channel. Go to clownfishsupport.com. That's clownfishsupport.com. And if you want to join our community, go to clownfishtalk.com. That's clownfishtalk.com. Please subscribe, ring the bell for notifications. We will talk to you next time.